Stephen A. Smith claims Sheryl Swoopes was removed from broadcast due to personal feelings toward Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark led the Indiana Fever to a 100-93 victory over the Dallas Wings on Sunday. Missing from the game was WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes. Nancy Lieberman replaced Swoopes as the Wings' color commentator for the game instead. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith believed that Swoopes was removed from the broadcast due to her personal feelings toward Clark. What incriminates, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, but what incriminates somebody like Sheryl Swoopes even more, who, by the way, was supposed to be calling the game with y'all yesterday, and she did not call the game, Smith said during a recent episode of The Stephen A. Smith Show. And no doubt it had something to do with the fact that, when Caitlin Clark had performed early in the week, she didn't want to talk about it at all. Smith is referring to when Clark scored 31 points with 12 assists during the Fever's 100-81 win over Angel Reese's Chicago Sky last week. We recognize that, and we know in television the way that I do. I know what producers do. I know bosses do when you see your personal feelings, whatever they may be, infiltrating the proceedings and compromising your position as a professional. Bally Sports Southwest did not have a comment for Fox News Digital when asked about Swoopes not being on the broadcast. The Dallas Wings did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment. Swoopes, during an appearance on Gil's Arena podcast with former NBA star Gilbert Arenas in February, made incorrect statements about Clark's collegiate career and stats. Swoopes said that Clark stayed in college for 5 seasons and that she took over 40 shots per game while discussing the topic of how Clark broke the NCAA's all-time basketball points record her senior year in 2023. While in fact Clark played just 4 seasons while averaging just 22.7 shots per game en route to the record, Swoopes posted the text message apology she sent to Clark following those comments from February to X on Monday. "Hey Caitlin, I wanted to personally reach out to you and say I made a mistake on what year this is for you. COVID year has me all confused," Swoopes wrote. "I also have nothing but respect for you and your game and appreciate your skill. Congrats on everything you have accomplished thus far. Be blessed." The other screenshots show Clark thanking Swoopes for reaching out and her contributions to the WNBA. Swoopes said that she appreciates Clark and her game and told her to keep being great. Swoopes, during an August episode of her Queens of the Court podcast, notably omitted Clark as a reason for the recent improvement of the Fever. Swoopes only praised Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. However, Clark has been the team's leading scorer during its win streak and is already one of the top scorers in the WNBA. The Fever began the season 1-8 and have since gone 16-8. After their win on Sunday, they are over .500 for the first time all season at 17-16. Smith responded to Swoopes' statements in that episode and said the Hall of Famer was insane to do that. "Do you have any idea how that makes you look?" Swoopes took to X to respond. "You talk about whomever and whatever you want to on your podcast. Correct? So why can't I? Also, did you listen to the entire episode?" "Nope. I have a personal relationship with these players and they deserve recognition as well." Smith said that Swoopes' basketball acumen makes her lack or praise of Clark seem personal. "But I think in the case of Sheryl Swoopes, and I'm not going to belabor this point, but it's important to be made that Sheryl Swoopes is a winner. She was great and she's a phenomenal basketball mind. What she's not realizing is that when she doesn't state the obvious, it's automatically going to be assumed that it's something personal because we know you know the basketball game, the game of basketball too well to ignore the kind of things that she's ignoring when it comes to Caitlin Clark." The Fever's next game is away against the Los Angeles Sparks on Wednesday.